Boom, we are live. It's Chris Igoe, Simply Home, South Florida, and it is Get Some Friday. We are doing big things. We are getting stuff done. And today I wanted to talk about a couple different things, right? So we are rolling. What is today's date? Today is July the 1st, July 2nd. July 2nd. It is July 2nd, right? So what does that mean to me? Well, it means that I'm inching closer to my birthday, which is July 15th. And it also means we're in the second half of this year. So I thought I would take the opportunity to discuss some things as we grow, as we scale, as we bring people onto Simply Home South Florida or onto our team, Igoe Home Group. One of the common questions that everybody always has is, what's the most important thing to get started in real estate? What's the most important thing that I must do to have success? And what I've learned is the most important thing that I can do is control the controllables. And that's in every aspect of my life, right? And I don't want to say this is the easiest thing, because it certainly is not the easiest thing. But the thing that I want to have the most awareness around is that there are lots of things that I cannot control. But the one thing that I can absolutely control is my mindset. I can choose how I want to think. I can choose how I want to respond. I can absolutely make a decision around my mindset and be very intentional in building up my mindset the right way so that I can go out there and achieve the things that I want to do. So that would be my most important. Hold on, let's see here. I feel like I'm missing something. Are we streaming here? Are we live? Are we doing big things? Anybody watching? There should be a chat function which will allow you to participate. Let's see here. Why is that not working? Cover, settings, cinema, picture in picture, half screen, cover, private chat. Don't worry. I appreciate your patience. I'm going to figure this out. There we go. We got a comment. What's up, Chris? Well, it wasn't that I wasn't offering the option. It was that nobody was talking. So if you got any questions, then please ask your questions, leave your comments. And if you would, do me a huge favor, click the subscribe button so that you can pivot over to YouTube. We're looking to grow the channel. We're looking to have a bigger impact on more people and be of maximum service to as many people as humanly possible, so that we can all go out there, win the day, win the week, win the year, grow, expand, and all live the life of our wildest dreams. So all that being said, it is July 2nd, right? And I mentioned it's my birthday, coming up July 15th. What does that mean? It means you're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Okay, I'm not gonna do my Guns N' Roses thing, but the truth is, for me to get my mindset right, and for me to be aware of the truth of my limitations as it relates to time, I have to be mindful of the fact that I am not going to be here forever. I only have a certain amount of useful energy in which to go out there and achieve the things that I want to achieve. And one of these so I must be mindful of, my time is limited and I am going to die. Now that could be morbid, but it's also quite motivating. And I think it's also very useful because it puts in perspective the fact that, hey, look, time is ticking on and on and on. Soon we'll all be gone. So there's an exercise that you can use. And Matt, if you're watching, I know you just did this. One of my mentors, Joshua Smith, went through this exercise with me. And there are a lot of other people out there who have gone through this exercise. And I think it's very, very important for you to do, because it's real easy to forget that we don't live forever, right? So The way to do that is there's a little formula, there's a little exercise. And what that is, you're going to take your, the average age, I think, not average, I think was it the census or whoever, I don't know, it's above my pay grade, but whoever goes out there and determines what the average expectancy for life these days is, they went out there and calculated that number is 84, right? So if you're blessed enough to live past that, I hope everybody lives to 284, but chances are, the average is 84, right? So you take your 84, you subtract your age, and in my case, I'm 45. That gives me the number of 39, okay? So that's my number, 39. I take that number and I multiply that by 12. So 39 more years times 12 months in a year, that gives me 468 months, right? I've got 468 months left to live if I live to 84, and anything past that is bonus. Okay, well, how many months have I been at the current age that I'm at? Well, that's almost 12. So let's subtract 12. Then I'm at 456. That's my number. I got 456 months left to go out there and achieve what I want to go achieve, period, which just is a great reminder to me that I'm not going to live forever. And I can tell everybody out there from personal experience that 45 and 46 feels different than 35 or 36. It feels different than 25 or 26, and it sure as shit feels different than 15. As I get older, you're not as fit. I think I'm in great shape. I think I do a lot to keep myself optimal. Mentally, physically, spiritually, but I can tell you that there is a natural aging process that happens, and nobody beats Father Time. So I'm sure that 10 years from now, it's going to feel a lot different than it does today. So what does that all mean? It means make hay while the sun's shining. Go out there, win the day, win the week, win the year, and create momentum today, so that hopefully, 10 years from now, you don't have to be doing the same things that you're doing right now. So. And that's certainly been my experience, right? So if you've watched this channel for a while, you've seen me put out content which has created tremendous momentum within my business, tremendous momentum within my life. And that's really the secret. It's not a secret. That's once you've got momentum going in your life on whatever aspect of your life that you want to work on, your life becomes a lot easier. Things start to happen. They call that, what is it? Luck. It's not luck. It's momentum. It's putting yourself in the right position at the right place at the right time, because you're constantly doing the right things to set yourself up for success. So you always want to create momentum. Period. End of story. So one of the things that, and I printed out a bunch of stuff here that I've used in different coaching spaces that my mentors have brought to me, that we use within the organization. And I don't want to get too granular on that right now, because I think I'll probably lose everybody. But what I am very intentional about in my daily life, and I'll use today's, well, actually, I'll give you two examples. I'll tell two stories. One, today, I did not want to wake up early. I did not want to go to the beach. I did not want to go to the gym, first and foremost. And I got every excuse in the book as to why I don't want to go to the gym. I tore something in my shoulder. It doesn't feel right. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go. I would rather do something else. I would rather create a script for a YouTube video that I'm going to do, and the weather's not optimal. So I'm not going to go to the gym. Instead, I'm going to do the script, because that will be more useful. And the timing of it is such that the weather has been erratic. So I really need to do that right now. And then after that, I'm definitely not going to go to the beach, because I don't want to go out. It's going to be a waste of time. So going out there and disconnecting in nature and meditating and praying and all those things, complete waste of time. I don't want to do any of that. I don't have time for any of that stuff. Yet I did all those things anyway. And I can tell you, when I woke up, I was not in a great mood. I didn't feel good. I had my mind going in a million different directions on things that it's actually overwhelmed. Like I've got too many things that are happening at once, and I can't balance myself the right way. So I'm not going to do anything. Instead, I'm going to just do whatever. I didn't do that. I didn't buy into that. I didn't lose. Instead, I just did what I'm disciplined about. I went to the gym. I got my exercise in. I went to the beach. I continued to be disciplined and execute on my commitments. And those commitments are the tiny hinges that swing big doors, right? So I did all the things I said I was going to do. And I'm very mindful of creating intention around those things. So when I'm doing this at the best level on a week, I'll take a couple hours during the weekend and I'll map out my week. What are the must-do activities that I've got to do each week for that week to be a win? And I can get super granular on that. And that I will do here. So I have found that when my leg is not cramping up and I'm getting a Charlie horse, I'm going to stand and stretch here because that was not wah, wah, wah. One of the hazards of doing content from your desk is if your leg goes crazy and you pull a Charlie horse, that'll be great content. All right, so where was I at before my old body started to deteriorate? Intentionality, right? So when I'm doing this at the highest level, I am mindful of what I need to get done each week. And what I really like to do, and the reason that I'm talking about this now, is it's the second half of the year, right? So I don't know what the first half of your year looked like. The first half of our year looked pretty good. But I also did a lot of new things, right? So we launched a brokerage. We brought on new agents. We've got all kinds of different variables that didn't exist a year ago. And a lot of those things I can victimize myself about and say, well, because of that, I'm not producing at the level that I think I should. All of that's horseshit. All of that's victimization. All of that is nonsense, because the truth is, if you get intentional and you execute, you can probably do everything that you need to do at a very, very high level. So I know that's true of me, right? So part of this is me talking about what I do on a daily basis and a weekly basis and a yearly basis to go out there, achieve and get execute at a high level. But then part of this is, Matt, I think you're out there. Yeah, you're out there. It's funny. I can see your name on the comments, but everybody else comes up as a Facebook user. So I'm not sure why that is, but nonetheless. So best practices, right? What are and now Matt, I'm talking specific to you, right? And there's 4 other people on here, but you can ask yourself these questions. It's the second half of the year. You're brand new, so you've done no deals, but you got 3 buyers that you're working with right now. So hopefully you execute and get 3 buyers under contract, Bill, real quick. YouTube, you see name. Facebook, you don't for some reason. Which is why everybody should click the link to join on YouTube right now, because that interaction and engagement will help the channel grow. But yeah, so Matt and I were talking this morning, and he's like, okay, he's very excited. He is doing all the things. He is dialing in his systems, his processes, his trainings. He's going through everything, which is awesome. But how do we go out there and reverse engineer how to get the numbers that he wants? So he's talking about, and Matt, I'm not trying to put you on blast here, but the number that you had talked about, I'm going to, instead of use that number as the baseline, I'll just tell you that's approximately 50 closings, right? So to get the number that you're looking for, that's 50 closings in our market. So how do you go out there and get those 50 closings? Well, my experience is, and now we're in the process of building out what you're going to do, what those actions are for you. But in my experience, those 50 closings are going to come from, each closing takes about 1,000 reach outs. So 50 closings, 1,000 reach outs, that's 50,000 reach outs that you need to make in a 12-month period for you to achieve what you want. That's going to translate into about 4,000 conversations, which then translates into 250 appointments. And that's how you're going to reverse engineer your daily wins for you to go out there and achieve those goals. So if I go out there and say, well, I got to go out there and make 50,000 reach outs, that's pretty overwhelming. But if you go out there and then reverse engineer how many dials you need to make, or how many texts you need to make, or how many emails you need to make in order for, and an email doesn't count for a reach out, but if you go through that and reverse engineer exactly how many you have to do each day, it becomes a very palatable thing. For me, when I was doing when I first got started, now mind you, when I first got started, I had no clue about anything. I didn't know what winning the day was. I didn't know what losing the day was. I didn't have any concept of what the best practices were. I didn't even know how to qualify leads. So when I first got involved in real estate, I was coming from, and this is mindset, right? So I was coming from a perspective of, I was the top of the food chain as a stockbroker. I was very aggressive on the phone, and I was dealing with Fortune 500, CEOs, COOs, corporate executives that all had financial, they all had a financial incentive to perform. So if they didn't, pay by T+3, they're losing money. If they're not answering their phone and communicating with me at a high level, they're losing money. So everybody performed at a high level because nobody wants to lose money. In real estate, it wasn't like that. So for me, it went from the scenario of everybody was very professional, everybody was very dialed in on not losing money or making money. And when I got started in real estate, it was just this slog of non-communication and people not caring about timelines or anything. And it was, for me, it was a mind fuck. So my story is such that I went and worked with I was mentored by another realtor that was here in our local market. And I made a decision that when I got involved, I was going to service everyone at the highest level possible, period. Like I was going to perform, and it didn't matter what. I was going to take every rep. I was going to do everything that there was to do to serve and support whoever it was on the other end of the phone at the highest level. So what did that mean? It meant if the phone rang, I answered it instantly. Forget about 3 rings. If the phone rang for less than a second, I was picking the phone up instantly. And I would do that at all hours of the night. So I was getting Zillow calls, Trulia calls, whatever it was, doesn't matter. Phone call comes in at 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. If I'm up, I'm taking that phone call. If the email comes in, I'm responding to it instantly. Now, these are not best practices, and I would not suggest that you do this. It certainly will burn you out very quickly. I learned not to do it that way. But when I first started, that was exactly what I did. So one of my first closings came from somebody who called at like 11:30. I don't know whether, I think it was during the weekend. I'm not sure, but they called at 11:30 at night. I got them on the phone. Next day, and this was really early in my career. So next day, I set them up for a showing, and I think we wrote up a contract on the second property that we went and saw. So, and they were blown away by the fact that I answered the phone at 11:30 at night. So I share that story because my mindset was in that state, at that spot, that there was nothing that I wasn't going to do to serve and support at the highest level. But what that eventually turned into was an overwhelming situation because I was taking out everyone. So anybody who called, I was serving and supporting them at the highest level. Well, that's great until you end up picking up somebody from, and it's so crazy. I would talk to my mentor at the time, and I'd be like, this doesn't seem to make sense. Shouldn't we qualify them a little bit more? Or isn't there something more that I can do rather than just jump into action instantly as soon as they say jump, I say how high, and I just go directly into action? That seems stupid. And it was the opposite of what I had done as a stockbroker. As a stockbroker, first thing I'm doing when I'm talking to somebody on the phone is qualifying that they are the right person that I want to speak to. And for whatever reason, whether it was that I was fragile or new or whatever, but I just drank the Kool-Aid and did whatever I was told to. So I found myself in the scenario where I got lots of reps in, and I'm grateful for all of those opportunities, but it wasn't the highest and best use of my time, and I burnt myself out. So you want to be very intentional with your time. You want to be very mindful of your energy. So everything works in real estate, right? And there's no lead generation activity that doesn't work. Everything works. So it's really finding out where is your energy best maximized? What is your superpower, right? So with Beth, for example, if you guys watch and are familiar with any of my story, you got Beth, the buy-sell diva. She's out there. I quickly discovered that she was a rock star, and her superpower was in the open house space. So I don't want her on the phone, dialing 300 dials a day. I want her out there doing as many open houses as humanly possible, or whatever it is that she wants to do. But you must then become intentional about what does your day look like? And so the way that I do, and I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but I created a template, and I got this from one of my coaches, but I created a template, and I broke down the day in 15-minute increments, right? So from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 2 columns, I've got the entire day listed out, and I can see with clarity exactly what my day looks like. And I know that I've got responsibilities. I know that I've got 2 kids. I know that I've got a wife that I want to spend time with. I know that I have gym time that I want to carve out for myself. I know that I know what my responsibilities and my expectations to my family and my community are, and I can plug them all in throughout the course of 24 hours. And what you'll inevitably find is you've got a lot more time for yourself to be able to go out there and allocate for you to build your business. So it's not like this is the great thing about real estate is that it's, you are your own boss. The bad thing about real estate is you are your own boss. So if you're not intentional with your time and you're not time blocking, chances are your entire life is a shit show, and it feels like chaos all the time. I experience that anytime I don't do this the right way. So, and I've got lots of people that are constantly demanding my time, and you will too. So you want to make sure that you've got extreme intentionality behind the way you schedule your day, schedule your week, schedule your month. And as long as you do those things, chances are you're going to be able to execute and win at a high level. But how do you know if you're winning? All right. So that's a good question. So we've got this number of 50 closings that we've decided we need to win the year, right? So how many conversations do you need to have in order for you to do that? Well, the number that we came up with is 4,000. Okay. So 4,000 conversations. Okay. And let's not use 365 days for the year because it's just not realistic. Let's go. So there's 52 weeks in the year. Let's go out there and say that we're going to use 40 of those weeks. So 40 times 7. Is this working? All right, we're back. So you want to be able to reverse engineer exactly how many reps you need to do each day in order for you to achieve the outcome that you want. And what I've found to be most effective is if you're, for me, when I was out there cold calling and doing the things that I wanted to do, I needed 300 dials a day, period, for me to know that I was winning. Then when I really wanted to get even more granular than that, I realized, nope, I can do more. Rather than 300 dials a day, I could set appointments faster than that. So, okay, what do I really need to win the day? Is it 2 appointments a day? Is it 2 appointments a week? What is it going to translate into for me to actually go out there and hit the numbers that I want? And what I ended up, now I went crazy, right? So I went out there, and I think there was a period of time where I forget exactly what the accurate number is here. It was either 7 appointments in a day or 9 appointments in a day. It was something completely insane and not sustainable. So I've fairly quickly figured out that that was too many appointments for me to be able to handle by myself, just from a geographic shotgun blast perspective. I mean, I'm driving all over the place. It's not optimal. So how many can I do a day? How much time do I need to allocate for myself to get there? To do the appointments, to be home in time to pick up my kids or whatever that looks like. Like, what does that really dial down to, right? So for me, I realized, okay, well, if I do that for 2 hours in the morning, I can typically set an appointment for myself in the mid-afternoon and one in the evening. If you're getting 2 appointments in it, 2 listing appointments in a day, or 2, even if it's not a listing appointment, a FSBO preview, whatever. If you're getting 2 of those in a day times 5 times a week, 10 appointments a week, you're definitely getting a minimum of 1 listing each week and at least 1 opportunity for a mega open house. And as you continue to dial in your process and you become an expert at these presentations and all these kind of things, those numbers get blown out of the port. So you're doing 10 appointments, you're probably getting 6 listings, you're probably getting however many open houses, and you're probably going to need to scale and grow quickly, which is a good problem to have. But if you're new and you're starting out and you're not really sure what to do next or what to do first, or you're starting to experience overwhelm, you got to break down your numbers and reverse engineer how you get to the outcome that you want. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, speaking of outcomes that I want, my kiddos are in camp. They are at, I'm not going to say where they're at camp at, but they're at a performing arts camp, and they are doing a play today. So I'm getting ready to leave here shortly so I can go watch them do their thing. So I hope that made sense. I hope you guys found that to be valuable content. But for me, it's a matter of when I break down the day of whether I won the day or not, it's me having created what I know are the best practices for myself, right? So am I checking the box? Am I winning the day? Did I go to the gym or do some form of exercise? Yes or no? Did I go out there? Did I disconnect in nature? Did I go out there and interrupt the pattern that exists in my head, which, yes or no? Did I do that? Yes or no? Did I go out there? Did I read something new? Did I do something to improve myself in any way, shape, or form? Did I read anything new, nonfiction, to self-develop at a high level? Yes or no? Those are 3 things that I can do really quickly, really easily in them. I don't know if they're quick or easy, but they're things that I have committed to on a daily basis. And I can usually do those before most of my house is up. Did I do those things? Okay, cool. Yes or no? But it's, did I do them? If the answer is no, well, then I didn't win the day. Period. So I'm not going to beat myself up over not doing them, but I'm going to be aware that I didn't win the day at the highest level. I didn't give myself an opportunity to achieve at the highest level, which inevitably means I'm not going to be there to be the best version of myself for anybody else out there. So I want to make sure that I'm getting granular with what those wins look like period, so that I can execute them and I can stack them and I can get into massive action, which allows me to go out there and do more. And it continues to be like that on everything. So how many appointments do I have to do to convert a lead or to get a new client? How many YouTube videos do I need to put out there to generate a new buyer? How many buyer brokerage consultations do I have to do to build a pipeline? How many reps do I need to get in to do this, and this? And like, for everybody, those things are different, right? But if you're aware of where your energy is best served, or where you get the most energy from, you can then create the life that you want and the schedule that you want that allows you to go out there and win. And that's what I hope that you will do as you go out there and get ready to dominate the second half of 2021. So not sure if any of that made sense. I kind of went with my gut here and didn't really have any particular script. But if you found this to be useful and you want to learn more about how to maximize your success in real estate, then click the link, joinsimplyhome.com, and we will schedule a call to get you onboarded. If there's anything we can ever do to help you succeed, grow, scale, whatever that might look like, give me a call, Chris Igoe. If you're working with buyers and you'd like to refer them, we will take care of them at the highest level and we'll pay you a fat referral for that. Really, if there's ever anything we can do to help in any way, shape, or form, you know where to find me, Chris Igoe, 561-516-2442. Go out there and win the day, win the week, win the year. Hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Happy 4th of July. And Matt, hopefully we can get you out of the witness protection program here within the next 24 to 48 hours. But that's it. Go out there. Let's get ready to dominate. And I'm going to go watch my kids perform live. So get some.